Welcome back. You're still tuned into Halftime Report on CNBC TV18. Well, let's get talking to one company, Lupin, which has been in focus in the past couple of days because of multiple news points. One of them being that they have acquired a portfolio of brands from Anglo-French and Indian-focused company for over 300 crores. And also, they have struck a partnership in China in order to make more inroads there. To talk more about it, we have Ramesh Swaminathan, the ED and Global CFO at Lupin, joining in now. Ramesh, hi, welcome to the show. I wanted to start with your over 300 crore acquisition of these brands which you've made. It's a portfolio of brands. It's not the company that you've acquired. So just give us a sense in terms of the number of brands that you've acquired, considering that the top 4 brands of this particular company are around 95% of their total revenue.
First of all, thank you for having me on, Ekta. As you said correctly, the top 4 brands actually constitute close to about 95% of the turnover of what we have actually bought. We also bought a lot of tail-end brands, but those are not relevant at this stage. Suffice to state that the top 4 brands constitute, are the most important, of which the most important, of course, is the Plex Fort. It's the 3rd largest brand in the vitamin B category after Bicosules and Neurobion. And we do believe that, we could do quite a bit with it. We are number 18 when it comes to, our position in the league tables when it comes to nutraceuticals. With this acquisition, we would move to number 11. It does a bit in terms of, contributing to the overall, base in India for us. And we believe that we could actually take it to a different level.
Okay. Ramesh, just a couple of more questions with regards to this particular acquisition. How are you funding it? What will it add in terms of revenues to your India business? And why nutraceuticals? Because now we're seeing that the COVID-19 pandemic is waning. People are not even using key drugs in terms of treatment, which they were using in wave 2, and that's fortunate in a way. But nutraceuticals, do you expect that kind of growth to continue?
Yeah, so if you look at the last few years, it's been growing around 18%. We could, of course, attribute some part of the growth to COVID. But as a segment, it certainly has a long-term future. And in a general sense, it actually is associated with wellness. So to that extent, I think this segment will do very well. And that's the reason why we actually bought into this category. And in terms of your question on how is it funded, so it's really internal resources. It's a very small acquisition by our own standards. So it hardly moves the needle, so to speak.
Okay, since it's a small acquisition, Mr. Swaminathan, good morning, good afternoon. This is Sonia here. Any more large acquisitions that you're looking at? I mean, anything else that you'd be targeting in the new calendar year itself? If yes, what are the geographies or the segments where you see big growth emerging from?
We are open to acquisitions as long as the proposition is compelling. So in India, of course, it's not for lack of trying, so to speak. We've always been interested in looking at propositions in India. And I would say that of the specialty, though of course we have actually come down on specialty in the recent past, with Zolasec also being kind of out-licensed. But in the general sense, we have always been acquisitive as a company, though we would be a lot more calibrated in the way we approach it going forward.
Okay, since we're on this subject of geographies and acquisitions, you recently had signed this partnership with the Chinese company Fonku Pharma.
Yes.
Are you very bullish on the China market? And if yes, what would the estimated growth be? What could it contribute to your own business?
What we've actually tied up with this company, Fonku, is essentially for distributing a few products that we believe have potential in the Chinese market. As you know, the Chinese the regulators have actually allowed products which have already been cleared by the US FDA to be sold in the market, subject, of course, to the NMPA also approving it. So that's a bunch of products that we have identified that we could actually distribute through this company. And we believe this is a very good company out there with its capability to kind of reach out to about 5,000 hospitals and the like. It is focusing on CNS, and we've got a portfolio from the Americas that we could actually transplant to China, and that's the reason why we actually entered this market.
Okay, all right. That's on the Chinese market. Two-part question, Ramesh, and they're completely polar opposites in terms of your business. I wanted to understand your US approvals. You received approval for a kidney drug from the Goa plant just a couple of weeks ago, and that means that the warning letter is now officially lifted. Can you tell us what the approval timeline is probably looking like for other drugs from Goa? And how has your diagnostic business done in Wave 3?
Yeah, two different questions. So we have about 110 odd products that which are still to be approved by the authorities. As you know, in fact, three of our facilities in India, four of our facilities have actually been under OAI status, and for that reason, some of these approvals have been delayed for quite some time, and that is the reason why, in fact, our top line has not moved for quite some time. It's good news indeed that the OAS status has been removed insofar as Goa is concerned. It's a question of time before it happens for the other plants as well. Specifically speaking about Goa, out of the 109 odd products, we have got about 22 to 23 products coming in from that facility. You just saw the first of those actually, the approvals coming in. So it's a question of the next several weeks where we think that there would be a lot more approvals coming in. And potentially after the audit of the other facilities, we are fairly confident that you would see some good news there as well.
Mr. Swaminathan, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us on CNBC TV18, and have a great 2022. Hopefully this will be a much better year for all of us compared to the one that we just left behind. Thanks a lot for being with us on the channel. All right, that's the word coming in from Lupin. Let's slip into a short break.